And we're live. Welcome to the Team Tank Podcast. A great, epic, tanktastic night of tanking tonight for the Lakers. Incredible game tonight. They somehow managed to beat the lowly Knicks. Derek Fisher returned and showed Byron Scott what it meant to be a Laker. That was incredible. Harrison was handling the tweets for Silver Screen and Roll. Mark was doing the same for Fairlay. And I was killing people with puns for Team Tank 15. So how are you guys all doing? Harrison, we'll start with you.
I mean, you may have been killing people with puns, but at least you weren't making jokes about beating your dog.
And that's where we start the podcast. Mark, how are you holding up? It's been a little while since we had you on here.
Yeah, I've been trying to refrain from killing myself, but now I just accepted it, so that's good, I think. But no, I kind of like losing. I like the feeling of pain now, so it's just,
that's why you started running again, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I used to hate. Just used to hate.
50 Shades of Purple and Gold.
Or is it white and gold? Oh God, I hate that.
It's funny you talk about pain and all that stuff, and over your right shoulder we have a blood sport.
I got it for $6 out of the state sale.
Man. It's perfect.
It even says to Jason from your friend Van Damme. I don't know who the fuck Jason is. But I bought it for $6 out of the state sale.
Jason Bourne, you got the Bourne's identity.
Yeah, Van Damme. But yeah,
so, I guess awkward segue. We're going to talk about Bloodsport. That Knicks Lakers game did things to the game of basketball that I think might never be undone. Just to sum up everything that happened in that game, a dude named Jason Smith, who, if you've never seen what Jason Smith looks like, he looks exactly what Jason Smith would actually look like, stuck a dagger in the Lakers. The guy looks like an accountant and ended the game on a layup right by Jordan Hill. Man, this season sucks.
He's the best description of his game is the create player to fill the end of the bench in 2K.
Yeah. I need a minimum contract. Jason Smith, come on down. So we're gonna play a game for tonight. We haven't brought this game out for a little bit. Oh, hold on. We have to cut to Mark G. Medina, who tweeted out, Byron Scott is calling out the team for playing soft and having a lack of focus.
Was that a scheduled tweet?
It may as well have been. So we, now that we're all nice and frustrated about how terrible Byron Scott is as a person, let's sum up tonight in one word. So Harrison, we'll have you lead us off.
I mean, this is uncreative, but tanktastic. Like the Knicks, they really tried their best to lose that game in the fourth quarter. I think they didn't score for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That was awful until Jason Smith finally got that dagger, and then Bargnani sunk his version of the Sasha Vujacic free throws. But yeah, I mean, Bargnani scored I think 16 points, and it just really the fact that we were able to lose to a team where Bargnani was probably their best starter. Tim Hardaway Jr. hit 5 of his 7 threes off the bench for 22 points. They wouldn't have even been in the game other than if he hadn't just decided to lose his mind and think he was Kyle Korver. But yeah, I mean, I'm shocked that we lost that game, and in a good way, but that was an important loss, especially after beating the Pistons earlier this week.
Seeing as you mentioned Bargnani, I guess I'll go next. That game had me Andrea Bargnaning all night. That was so bad. That whole game was so terrible. I mean, I already talked about it a bit, but holy mackerel! I mean, he's oh my goodness. I can't talk about it anymore without vomiting in my mouth. Mark, what did you think the game summed up for you?
Is that a word? Can I use that word?
Just
you can't spell it. I don't know. That's a word, right? I don't know, man. one word, we'll say. For some reason, hilarious comes to mind.
It really was.
It was. That's a good word.
Yeah. We're so bad. We're so bad.
You know those like psychos in scary movies that start laughing when terrible things are going on?
That's me.
We're watching this game like, oh my god, this is
No, we were basically the Joker. We just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put on my special hat like this. And then I'm going to do the rest of the... Can I do the rest of the podcast for this?
Yeah, go for it. Why not?
Maybe delusional, I don't know. But yeah, I'll go with hilarious.
Yeah, it's
And shit.
the frustrating thing is both teams are in this situation because of poor management, I would say. The Lakers had more to do with luck and the veto and all that stuff, but they haven't necessarily done themselves any favors. And then the Knicks are just the Knicks. I tweeted out before the game, and I got a few nasty responses from some New Yorkers out there that, the game is played in the real mecca of basketball because, we've actually seen a championship in 40 years. If it wasn't for the East Coast bias, nobody would give a rat's ass about these Knicks, and it shows. TNT dropped them tonight, right? Like they flexed out of that game, which I didn't even think was possible in this contract.
They can do it late in the year usually. A couple times I think they're allowed to. Like in the cases of tire fires like this is kind of what it's for.
The best part was them subtweeting the game at the end of the Cavs-Spurs game. Like, hey, if this game wasn't enough, we get to watch Lakers-Knicks highlights.
Because Chuck did the second game. Can you imagine having watched this game and having to listen to it with his commentary? I was tweeting before the game, like, that's like a reason to watch Lakers-Knicks is just you don't have to listen to Charles Barkley.
That's a good point. I guess not too awkward segue. This one's not too bad, but we already mentioned Spurs-Cavs, and at the end of that Cavs game, I'm getting a tweet here from Jacob Rude that the mecca of basketball is in Indiana. Sure.
So dirt.
Just because they're stuck back in the ages where the Mecca was originally built, like.
Yeah. The Mecca went on the move. I mean, I don't know how you guys felt about Hoosiers, but it was kind of sort of racist a little bit.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've
What?
never seen it either.
What?
I'll do my homework. I'll do it. Writing it now.
After the show.
All right, we're gonna stop this show right now. We're gonna live tweet Hoosiers. But yeah, awkward. So we're gonna go ahead and get back to that Spurs-Cavs game. Kevin Love might opt out of his contract this year. If he does, the Lakers will come up because they always do. Kevin Love actually got up from the bench tonight and was told he has to come back to the game by Mike Miller because David Blatt wanted to sub him back in. He was in the tunnel when that was taking place. I mean, Mark, go ahead. Read the stars here. What are you thinking?
Is he high or is he just like?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I could expect that from like a Michael Beasley, where or back in the day in the '80s, where Vlade Divac used to smoke cigarettes and roll a blunt or whatever the hell. I mean, that's a pretty ballsy move, especially if you're getting paid $1 million and whatever how many millions of dollars he gets, to play a fucking game of basketball. And he goes, no, I'm just gonna go ahead and sit this one out. Go ahead, guys. And then you're like, wait, no, you can't do that.
Mark,
I don't know.
Mark, you've been talking for too long. I'm just gonna get up and leave.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh
Hey,
man,
wait.
you made him mad about his role.
I mean,
Chemistry.
I mean,
Go
I don't know. I don't know. I just can't wait for the tell-all. Maybe if he had a blog, he would post about it. But I don't know. I mean, obviously something's going on over there, especially with him. But yeah, I don't expect him to return. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see him taking off here in this offseason. I mean, he's been reduced to Mike Miller, the guy who called him back from the tunnel, right?
Maybe that's what it was. He's like, here, you forgot this.
Yeah, no. Could you imagine? Could you imagine like, hey Kevin, David wants you back in. No, I'm just kidding. You can keep walking. You're good.
Yeah. No, we're just fucking with you. He just thought it'd be funny if I told you that. All right, see you, man.
Harrison, what does that signify? Harrison or Kevin Love's early exit. What does that mean to
I
you?
don't like in my memory of like being an NBA fan. I don't think I've ever remember that happening before, where a player's like walking out and like who knows if he was going to the bathroom or something or like what the deal was. But then you don't think he would have come immediately back when Mike Miller told him. Like it just seems like it was just frustration built up with like he doesn't seem happy. He doesn't like his role. And I honestly, I don't think I can remember that in an NBA game. I've had to go and do that with a fourth grader that I've coached before, where the kid like was upset with a hard foul and he just took off out into the hallway crying. We had to stop the game and I had to go get him. But like I would not expect that out of Kevin Love. That was like I didn't see it, but that was pretty surprising when I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there, man. And you have Kevin Love, who most have called a prima donna. And actually, at this point, Mark, you can go ahead and take over here next. But would you want Kevin Love at this point? I'm not. I mean, he plays the same position as Randall, and I mean, can he be the best player on a really good team?
See, and that's the thing too that I always like. I mean, I ask my friends all the time, like, do we even want Kevin Love anymore? It's like. He's been in the league for how long? I mean, to this day, he still hasn't been to the playoffs, right? Like, he's never been. So it's like, it's obvious. I mean, yeah, I know the pieces that have been around him all the time, or has always been around him, or hasn't been.
I mean, he and Wes Johnson expected to be a second option for him for a little bit in Minnesota, so got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, it's kind of, stuck between a rock and a hard place with him and what his options were, but now it's like I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like I don't know if I would take a chance on him. I mean, I think obviously yes because we could use him, but yeah, Randall. It's like okay, what about Randall? So I don't know. I know we're gonna try to go for him, but would I be happy? I'd probably be happy with it if we did. But
it's almost turned into a point now where, the Lakers, I wouldn't say they're quite beggars going into the offseason. So, like, saying beggars can't be choosers, like, if they get Rondo, great, like, just get anybody. But with a lot of the guys that we've thought for a long time that we would want, Rondo, Kevin Love, all these guys, they're turning out to not be quite the solutions that we thought they might be, right?
Yeah, I thought Dallas would be insane right now, but look what they're at, so...
Yeah. Yeah, Harrison. At this point, would you welcome Kevin Love as a Laker?
See, like I'm one of the people that still thinks that he can be like the best or at worst the second best player on a championship team. But we already have Randall on such a cheap, affordable contract, and they both can't play any position but power forward effectively. They wouldn't be able to. Well, it would be worse than anything on defense we've seen this year if we had the two of them lined up next to each other as the front line. And so I still think that he can be good, but like it was the same thing we were talking in a roundtable for Silver Screen and Roll this week about going after Greg Monroe. Like I honestly am happy to just like let's see what Randall develops into, and like there's something to be like some people say, but yeah, beggars can't be choosers. You get talent and you figure it out later. But my argument with that is like how many times in NBA history have we seen like two talented but kind of mismatched players play on the same team, and then they get traded for like a pittance, and then they end up like coming back to haunt the team. And so I just don't know if we want the Lakers to like go with that whole you get talent, you figure it out later, because sometimes you end up having to make a lopsided trade because of that.
Well, I mean the Pistons. I mean the Greg Monroe's Pistons had to waive Josh Smith because they had too many guys that played the same position.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what it would kind of turn into here with Julius Randle or Kevin Love. I've never been that big a Kevin Love fan. My issue with Kevin Love is he's best at, the two aspects of his game that make him elite are his shooting and his rebounding, especially his offensive rebounding. And if you're expecting him to, shoot from the outside, he can't spot up from the outside, but also be in position to get offensive rebounds, right? So those two things don't necessarily go hand in hand, and because of that, I'm not sure he can be the best player on a title team or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd be honestly curious to see how he went with just LeBron or just Kyrie on that team and see if it would work out a little bit better for him. But I think with both of them needing to be so ball dominant, and like that's not a bad strategy to give those two guys the ball. They're good. They're like good at basketball. But I'd be curious to see him with like a really good ball handler and kind of just some pieces around them. Maybe some shooting. Maybe like a guy like Mozgov would be fine as a center. But like, you know, I think that would be for him more effective and still be a pretty good team with without like two dominant ball handlers. It's like the Chris Bosh thing where he was basically reduced to a spot up shooter, and like this year before like the unfortunate health issues, he showed that he was still a damn good player.
Yeah, I would say there's some Chris Bosh to it. Chris Bosh was way better on defense than Kevin Love.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think they're necessarily using Kevin Love very well. If I were David Blatt, I'd put him as the pick man at all times, all the time. You know, you have even if you want to run some version of like horns. Like, could you imagine horns with one option being LeBron, one option being Kevin Love? Like that'd be unstoppable.
Yeah. And like it's great to say like be creative with your sets, like spot Kevin Love up, use him as like an amazing, like he's a good shooter and use him like that, but like egos get in the way. He doesn't want to be like a 7-foot tall Steve Kerr. Like he wants to be like a max contract, especially as he's going into free agency. He doesn't want to decrease his value. This year has hurt him more than anything that happened in Minnesota.
Right.
And they're still second in the East.
Speaking of poorly used, super talented people, we've had Mark on here, and he hasn't said anything.
No, I was against
Sorry.
it. No. Trust me. You guys are way more informative and professional and knowledgeable than I am. I'm just the asshole that says cuss words once in a while. But anyway, the whole Kevin Love thing, like I don't think he'll ever be. He's not going to be the star player. Like he's not going to be number one. He's always going to be number 2 or 3. I've always thought that. So I see. Even with the Cavs, I mean, I thought Kyrie would take more of a backseat, but. I mean, that's how I would play it, but so I can understand where Kevin Love can be frustrated. You know?
Yeah, it's there's a lot going on there, but the whole leaving the bench before the game is over is that has that has if that's not a breaking point, I don't know what the hell is. You know.
That's not very professional at all.
For example, we had Rahul leave a podcast early, and we haven't seen him since.
Hey, no, there was I just can't wait to hear what Cavaliers PR comes up with for that, because when him and Kyrie Irving had that blunt smoking celebration earlier in the year, and that guy came up with they were drawing a fake mustache, like, that was brilliant. I can't wait to see no, Kevin was warming up to get into the game by running out to the locker room, and then he was going to run back. Mike Miller wanted to get warmed up too.
Couldn't you also say that Kevin Love went to the tunnel to twirl a mustache?
Let's go fart in the tunnel, and then he went back because he didn't want the stink to fall.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, you should send in that clip as your job application for them.
Yeah, just that. Hire me. Come on.
Love comes back with a trail of smoke behind him. What on this, guys? Anybody got hot Cheetos?
He's not Mike Beasley. Come on.
Hey, that's a lot of time in the timbery north up there. You got to stay warm somehow.
But my question though, if you would say Lakers get Kevin Love, then you got Randall off the bench. That would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, in a vacuum, those two and Ed Davis, I'd like that front court rotation, but I just don't know that Randall and Love, you're utilizing them the most effectively if you're doing that, or putting your resources in the best places.
In that situation, the two most talented players are Kevin Love and Julius Randle, with Ed Davis being that third fiddle, there, who just happens to play the 5. You can't play Randle and Love at the same time that I can think of.
No.
But you know what helps there though is Kevin Love does space the floor. Oh wait, that's what the Cavs are doing, and he would leave our bench early. So
Yeah.
all
They
right,
could
so
play together for a little bit, just against like a smaller lineup or the right matchup, I think. But yeah, it wouldn't be a sustainable thing.
right. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to find out. We'll listen intently for the reason for Kevin Love's departure. He was not feeling the love, to use a terrible joke. Yeah. So, like we said earlier, we have Mark on with us. Mark, you've been associated with Twitter and doing the blogging thing for longer than both Harrison and I probably combined. So what I wanted to talk to you today about, we last time you were on here, we talked about the similarities between stand-up comedy and blogging or Twitter or whatever.
Mhm.
Today I kind of wanted to pick your brain as to how, what are the biggest things you've seen change in the blogosphere, since you've been doing this.
Biggest changes is everyone's trying to do it as far as making it as a as a job. Before we got started with the live podcast, we were talking about how much of a business it is now. Ad space and advertising, and got to get those posts, those clicks, anything for the clicks. It's become so serious now, where it's like everyone's just trying to start their own blog. I mean, there's money out there, but if you're going to think that way, you kind of have to think that way if you want to make money, some serious money. But back then, I started in 2008. Started Twitter. I joined Twitter, and it's completely different. I mean, back then it was just such a brand new thing where live tweeting, sports, or doing a sports game, it was just kind of, I just felt like you're inside of a exclusive little club. It was like a chat room. And it was just so new and fresh, and it was just a little exciting because it was just because it was new. But over time, it just people just kind of figured out how to make money off of it, and so did I. I mean, I sell my merch on there, my Fear LA merch on there. Yeah, I mean, just everyone try to blog. Everyone just try to do a blog. Now it's like there's like so many Laker blogs out there.
Yeah.
There's so many of them, so it's like
Incredible.
Yeah, and to me, I feel like it's a little oversaturated now. It's like, everyone's trying to do the same thing, so it's like, kind of, it's like, all right, well, I mean, obviously there's the top ones, and then there's the ones that, still try to, like, up and coming.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. I think if anything, I feel like it's just something that's just kind of already been done. I mean, it's not dead. Obviously, it's not dead, but it's just kind of, it's like MySpace. Like, once you join MySpace, someone trying to join MySpace now, it's like, oh, sorry, you kind of missed the boat on that. So it's like, yeah, I think it's still around. So like, if you're gonna start a blog or start, tweeting, start a sports blog or tweet, off of the Twitter, kind of missed the boat on that. So it's like, I mean, but it's hard. I'm not saying you guys or nothing like that, but
No,
it was a lot easier back then because it's like so new and everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna follow this, I'm gonna follow that.
Yeah.
So, now it's like everyone kind of knows, how to use their way around Twitter. So, but
I think it's reached that point where, with so many voices out there, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but with so many voices out there, it makes the top end of stuff better than it's ever been, I would say. Like the best and most informative blogs out there are incredible. I would put that up against any beat writer stuff that I read growing up. But then you go to the bottom, you go to the bottom end, and these, guys that start writing for Rant Sports or whatever. Yeah, that's a dig. But like, you read some of that stuff, and it's just garbage, hot freaking garbage. And the unfortunate thing is that hot garbage that just gets clicks, that's what people are being rewarded for. So I think at some point, Harrison, you can kind of build on this, but I think at some point the next step is to somehow make it so the people get rewarded for legitimately good and well thought out takes versus Joe Blow, who says that Jeremy Lin is good at basketball and gets clicks because of that.
Well, like, what's rewarded as a paid position, or rewarded as like getting clicks or attention, or what? Because, like, the thing is, like, it's nice for us to say that we want it to be more well thought out and stuff, and that's, like, our personal preference, and that's what, like, we would rather read. But, like, the unfortunate aspect of it is there are a lot of people that just, like, they watch sports as pure, like, WWE style entertainment, and they want the characters, they want the narratives, they don't want to think about it, they want to just get mad at Kevin Love for leaving the bench early, they want to, like, they want to, like, yeah, oh, those nasty millionaires that are getting paid so much money to play this game. Byron Scott should be mad at them for not trying hard enough. And, you know, I love it when he tells them that they're soft as Charmin. And, you know, there are just too many people that enjoy that. And so, like, until people's opinions start to change or, like, what they're interested in, it doesn't really matter kind of what we do. It's just it would have to be a shift in public interest.
The other interesting thing here, and this is where I think what we're trying to do is kind of break off into our own kind of segment of the business. But I've noticed that just readership period is kind of down. So like the video thing, people would much rather just listen to us dumbasses talk on camera and tell them what to think, right? That's why Fox News is so successful.
Wait, people are watching this?
we have 8 viewers right now. But what do you think, Mark? I mean, where do you see it going next?
Me?
No, Mark.
Oh, as far as Twitter itself, or just
like the whole I guess industry sports. Or the sports information industry. Where do you think it's going next?
Now that it's becoming more accessible, like, you know, as far as information, and I mean, let's face it. I mean, with me personally, I would love to read a post that has, you know, 3,000 words, it's thought out. You know, I think there was like I remember when Sports Illustrated did that Kobe article. I think I don't know how many words it was, but I remember I wish I had the time to read that. But if there was a video on it, yeah, I totally watch it like in 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes or whatever. I think we're going more that route just because everything's so fast paced and everyone just needs to get it done now. I think, to be honest, I really do think that's next. Just where it's like, look at Vine, you know, Snapchat. You know, even Instagram videos, you know, stuff like that. Everything's within like 8 seconds, 14 seconds. You know, it's seconds now. It's not even like minutes. So it's, you know, as long as you get your information out there so quick, and it's, you know, just yeah. I mean, I think that's what everyone just expects now. Is just to want the information now. You know, I can't wait. You know, 5 minutes. I can't look through 12 pages. Like, let me just see what the hell's going on now. I think that's where it's going to be heading. So. You know, like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I just have in my head right now that image of the black newscaster from
Parks and Rec.
Let's go, Ray.
Yeah, like exactly, yeah. Like, all right, get ready for the Lakers Team Tank recap. We lost, and then like just
that's it. That's it. Just, you know, just tell me what happened. I don't know. I mean, we're becoming more fast paced now, so it's like, you know, everything is instant. You know, everything wants it now. It's palm of their hand. So I think that's where it's going to be heading, where you don't have to type 500 words, you know, anymore. You know, they just want the meat and potatoes. I mean, that's me though. I'm dumb and I have like zero patience for anything. So I think I can speak for most of the people, but
no, I think that's a legitimate thing though. I mean, that's where Twitter is so successful because it's 140 characters and only 140 characters. And people get like legitimately mad at me when I go on my like super short Twitter rants where like it's three tweets in a row. So total, that's what, 420 tweets total. And they get angry at me like, "Oh my god, like what?"
I hope you mean characters, because if you send 420 tweets in a row, I might get kind of mad.
It's not in my timeline, bro.
I would unfollow you.
Yeah, like I would tell people, just start a blog. If you're gonna like tweet that much, I always tell people, just start a blog.
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, I mean, my biggest beef with it being so businessy at this point is how serious people take it, like you said, Mark. That like, I mean, at some point, spoiler alert, but at some point, I'm going to write an article that is all hot takes, and I guarantee you it's going to go viral. Like, people are going to like just lap that up with a freaking spatula, you know, and after the business is gone, you know.
I remember when Fear LA was a blog, and the person that was helping me out at the time was showing me how to properly have a headline. So he goes, yeah, just gotta get those clicks, just post, it's all about the headline to make sure it catches and all that. So like I took I was BuzzFeed before BuzzFeed became BuzzFeed. So I did like top 15
That should be your Twitter bio.
Yeah, yeah, I was BuzzFeed before BuzzFeed was BuzzFeed. All I did were lists because he said that lists are easy, you can do that. So I was doing like 10 top 15 dumbest headlines that came up with this article, like shit like that.
Top 15 dumbest headlines.
Yeah, dumbest headlines. I try to come up for this article, and just shit like that. So it's like I miss that. I miss because I'm not I don't take things very. I mean I take things out very seriously, obviously. Personal, pay my bills, shit like that. But I mean, when it comes to just the internet, people take the internet seriously, and I think that's where my trigger is. It's people take the internet way too seriously. You can turn it off. I'm sure the president has this switch or whatever, but what happens when the internet's off? We're fucked. That's it. Real world, we have to talk to each other. I have to go to your house and talk to you. So,
well, what's funny is when to your point, every time Twitter has some kind of bump in the road and it doesn't work, you sign back on and there's 37 million. Is Twitter broken?
I go to Facebook to check that. I'll be like, fuck, hey guys, is Twitter broken? I'm on Facebook.
Yeah, that's the only thing
so
you use Facebook for.
Yeah, fuck Facebook. I hate Facebook.
Yeah.
So
I just go to my room and have a panic attack until it comes back on.
Hashtag fetal position.
We paid the bill, right? Are we sure? It's on, right? Okay, I'd be resetting. Oh, I hate
where I'm about to move to. We're moving up to this. I wouldn't call it a shack, but it's a one-bedroom little house that's way up top in the La Habra Hills. It's gonna have a great view and all that stuff. Yeah, I can't wait for it. But if I don't have the internet up there, I'm screwed. I'm done.
First things first.
God, Harrison has to host, and the thing's just gonna go. But
no hot water. Don't get food. Get the internet. Make sure you got the internet. That's what my buddy always tell me. He's like, Gonzo, you're so dependable on the internet. He was from New York, so that's where the accent comes from. All who talk shit all the time. He's like, where's the internet? I need the internet. Don't get running water. Get the internet first. Shit like that.
Voice.
Yeah, voice. That was I'm the same way. I'm guilty of it too. I hate it, but I'm just as guilty.
That's gonna be the real Walking Dead is when Twitter crashes. You're just gonna see it's not gonna be zombies. It's just gonna be confused teenagers wandering the streets, staring at their phones, wondering why they don't work.
Well, I guess it says something that we're talking about confused teenagers wandering the streets, but none of us are in our teens. So I don't know what you can say about it.
No, I just mean my youngest brother. If his phone worked, I don't know what he would do with himself.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny? It reminds me. I went camping and I was so happy because it was cool. I get to take a vacation away from my phone. I immediately check my phone and I go, oh fuck! I got full bars here. I'm gonna go on Facebook and right away. I was in the mountains of Santa Barbara and I had full bars and I was like, damn it! Now I have to play with my phone.
You literally you legitimately have to. If I because there are moments where I do realize, all right, I need to take a break. I've been staring at some kind of screen for 4 hours on end now, and you do realize, all right, I need to take a break, and then you get your phone and you just get rid of it.
And then you watch a movie.
Yeah, and then you jump on Netflix and you live tweet the movie. So we all kind of covered how poorly we would cope with the internet being down. This is obviously a Lakers Team Tank podcast, so I guess we'll get a little bit back on track here. Mark, how have you coped with the fiasco, the garbage pile, the dumpster fire, the train wreck this season has been? What do you do? Do you just bundle up in Harrison's fetal position?
I think I've just accepted it. I just welcome it. I mean, I already welcome things just bad things in my personal life, so it's not, it doesn't take very much I'm in the business of comedy, and misery equals comedy. So that's if I mean I know how to I always had this saying, I laugh at everything because at least I'm not crying about it or something like that. I can't remember.
Right.
But
right.
that's it. I've accepted it a long time ago. And that's it. Like okay. This is the way how it's gonna be for the rest of the year. Not a problem. If we're gonna lose, let's be the best fucking team that loses every night. And that's it. I am Randy Quaid in Major League 2. Like I'm that guy where he was a diehard fan, and now fuck them. Like I'm gonna be the biggest anti-fan. Like a Clipper fan could be like fuck the Lakers. You'd be like fuck you. You don't hate the Lakers, or like you'd be the fuck Lakers. I'd be like no, you don't hate them as much as I hate them right now. There's no way. Your hate can beat my hate. There's no way. Like I like them still, and I hate them. So
it is funny the superiority complex that we have as Laker fans. That oh yeah, you think you can tank? Oh, you think you're good at tanking? Well, watch this, Knicks.
Yeah, like tonight, I was like, fuck yeah, we lost to the Knicks. Like I've never said that in my life.
Well, I never thought that I would jump up off my couch cheering for a Jason Smith crunch.
Yeah, exactly.
See, and I still keep to my roots. I don't root for another team. I just want the Lakers to lose. That's how.
Right. Well, I mean, I root for I'll root for Minnesota while they're playing because that helps the Lakers. But
oh yeah. Well, how many games are we, or are they ahead, or are we ahead?
I think we're back 2 games.
2 games. Come on, Tank. We keep listening.
Harrison, how do you deal with just the misery that has come from the last 2 years as a Laker fan?
I mean, I gotta go with Mark and say humor. Honestly, I get killed for it at times in the comments of, our blog or on Twitter or whatever. Like, people get mad at stuff that you say when you make jokes because they take it so seriously. And, that's fine. Everybody's entitled to like their team and like sports however they want. I would appreciate it if the attacks weren't, ad hominem, but it is what it is. And, yeah, it's just humor. You just got to find ways to joke about it. You got to, make fun of Byron, or you got to scream "and one" at Boozer, or, make dolphin noises at Nick Young at Staples Center.
I
miss the Swaggy P.
He was good for the tank. We need him back. I think we might have lost Anthony.
Yeah, I was gonna say he just cut off.
Yeah, he's just permanent looking down laughing. Or there's something really interesting on his floor.
This fella looks so weird. It looks kind of creepy. Oh, yeah. We're still live, right? As long as it's still recording.
Yeah, we're still live, so we gotta try and fly this plane without the pilot.
Not a problem. Oh yes, Lando. No, but even Swaggy. I mean, there's that's what character. You gotta find the characters. You gotta find things that can make just the season a little bit better. And that's why I love having Nick Young so much, because he made it a little bit easier. Especially Nick Young. How did you guys pull this off tonight? Well, we just did what we did. What was it? So it's fuck yes, hell yes.
But he was so much more awesome last year when he was actually decent, and his coach wasn't calling him soft or fining him before every game. It seems like Byron just kind of has a preconceived notion of what Nick Young was, and that he was just a selfish gunner and just came in determined to punish him no matter what Nick did.
I hope he stays. I hope. Yeah. He's the one guy where I know his contract's very movable. And it's nice, but I kind of hope he stays.
I just think he's fine as a 6th man off the bench, and before this year, I mean, he's still an enjoyable I think his teammates enjoy him. His coach doesn't seem to, but his coach doesn't seem to like most of the players. And I just like having him on the team. I think that he's a fun presence in the locker room. He gives us, selfishly for me as a blogger, he gives me stories to write about his dolphin attack and things like that. I could write about his girlfriend getting into a Twitter feud with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Yeah, what did he tell Snoop Dogg? Like he's old or something like that? Or like,
Yeah, I don't even remember what he called Snoop, but like he's the most interesting man in the world. It's just you never know. You wake up, you check Twitter, and he's in the Tyson zone. You know that Bill Simmons always talks about. There is no headline about Nick Young that I wouldn't believe.
I remember there was one tweet there's one person that said something. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I remember they asked him something. I think they asked him the origination of where the term Swaggy P came from.
Yeah, and he said that God gave it to him in a dream.
That's what a swag god or something like that. Let me see if we can find it. It'll be real quick.
I just want, I have an article that I wrote for Silver Screen and Roll that we haven't posted yet, where I was talking about, like, alternate Time Warner Cable programming ideas, because their shows are so just, like, they're advertisements for the team most of the time. I would love a Jeremy Lin and Nick Young odd couples roommates reality TV show.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, when I interviewed, I remember... I guess they had like this special thing where like they interviewed Nick, Jeremy Lin, and I think it was Ellington. Yeah. And then like Nick thought Lin was from China. He goes, "No, man, I was born here," or something like that. He's like, "Oh well," I can't remember what he said, but I just remember it. Dude, the back and forth between them, I was dying. I'm like, "See, this is content."
No, that's where I got the idea from, and he's just awesome.
Oh, he's perfect. Here it is. I found it. Nick Young on the origin of Swaggy P nickname. It's biblical. It's in the Old Testament. The prophet of swag. Right there.
We can't top that. Just to kind of shift like topics a little bit. You watched the game tonight, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of Tarek Black?
I like him, man. I really do. I'm excited. I'm like I just see so much like drive. And especially, I mean, he put up some pretty good. I mean, he had double figures tonight, right?
I think he only missed one shot. I think he went 5 of 6.
And I remember his first like 5 games, he never missed a shot.
Yeah, I'm not saying his first 3 attempts tonight, I remember, were putbacks, which like pretty much sums up this season. It's like Kobe would have been great for this team, like no matter what percentage he was shooting at, just because this is the Kobe assist all-star team.
I was gonna say,
like
wrap up.
Ed Davis, Carlos Boozer, and his push-off fouls, and now Tarek Black, like they can. Yeah, and yes, Tom, I know I'm saying like too much. One of our viewers. Yeah, Tarek Black went 5 of 6 tonight, and like I honestly do not understand why he wasn't playing for a little bit. That made 0 sense to me at all.
See, I don't know if that was. Yeah, you would think they would want to develop him, keep him playing.
I mean, why not just take a chance on him? Like it's him or Boozer.
Yeah, I was gonna say I mean, come on.
Why is Boozer playing over him? I didn't understand that, but I'm glad he's back in the lineup now.
Yeah, Team Tank is in full effect
now. The only reason to watch now is like him and Clarkson and Kelly if they ever played him at the power forward, but instead he's just having to chuck up like nightmare hooks and.
See, Clarkson is one of the most like if you want to look at positives. Clarkson is pretty much my number one positive thing to watch right now. When I'm watching as they lose, seeing Clarkson grow and getting better and better every game.
I saw Darius Soriano of Forum Blue and Gold tweeted out basketball reference like comparison between